I specialize in collecting data and trying to do something interesting with it. Just for amusement, I will do 4 current projects, and I'll try to do each one in a minute. My PhD student, Janet Lazar, is trying to do automatic identification of trumpet players on jazz recordings. Most jazz records from a long time ago were issued only with the name of the band, not the individuals. So the record jacket just says the Ellington Orchestra. Human experts can listen and say, that's Louis Armstrong, that's Dizzy Gillespie, that's Miles Davis, that's Harry James. So can a computer spot individual trumpet players? It's been done by other people for classical piano and flamenco singers, so I think it's worth a try for jazz. And Rutgers happens to have the country's best collection of old jazz records. The next one I'll mention is a project I did with a friend at Columbia and his student on sentiment analysis. And the question was, could we look at sentiment analysis of the New York Times versus Reuters to see whether it appeared that there was a difference in bias? This was a reaction to all of the claims being made that the New York Times is very biased. So we collected a lot of stories. We looked at the tone of the words in them. There are standard ways for doing this, and wound up concluding, no, there wasn't really any bias. The third one is just me. Somebody asked me to write a paper on artificial intelligence for libraries. And I decided that because this is a time of great enthusiasm, I would be the cynic and write about the fragility of the AI algorithms in the current world, how they are very easily mistaken. A good example, not in my paper, but from Carl Bergstrom, from his new book, somebody claimed they could tell criminals from ordinary people with an AI program. People who looked at this discovered their training data. They showed the computer ordinary pictures people had posted on the web of themselves and mugshot pictures. Well, people who post their own picture usually post a picture of themselves smiling. People in mugshots are not usually smiling. And what they had written was a smile detector, which is useful, but quite different from saying that person is a criminal. And fourth, another student effort, Ariel Hammond in our program also works at the San Diego Zoo. And her friends there have cameras set up in Kenya, which take pictures of anything that walks past them. And what they're trying to do is count giraffes. So the problem is to identify the giraffes from all of the pictures where the camera just fired because the wind blew some leaves in front of the sensor, or they took a picture of a person or a truck or a cow. And thanks to Ariel, we have 2.5 million pictures spinning on a disk over on Bush campus, and we had some students last semester looking at AI techniques for recognizing the pictures and looking at, and we have 2.5 million pictures, about 500,000 have been classified by human beings in a crowdsourcing effort. So we do have lots of training data. And if anybody wants to work on this, please come see me. Okay, thank you, Lily.